Hello, this is AT in the Math. My name is Mellowdee Brooks, and I'm an assistive technology consultant with the Idaho Assistive Technology Project. Today I'll be going over a couple of definitions, the SETT, spelled S-E-T-T, framework, the Assistive Technology Continuum for math, and we'll provide some examples and videos. Some sections of this presentation are based on a document entitled Assessing Students' Needs for Assistive Technology, Chapter 8, Assistive Technology for Mathematics, through the Wisconsin Assistive Technology Initiative. I won't have time to demonstrate all the products I'll be talking about today, but links have been provided on the slides so you can take a look at them at a later time. The first definition we'll be talking about today is assistive technology devices. I don't always read the slides, but I'm going to read some of this during this presentation. Assistive technology devices, quote, any item, asterisk, piece of equipment or product system, whether acquired commercially off the shelf, modified or customized, that is used to increase, maintain, or improve functional capabilities of a child with a disability, close quote. This is from IDEA 2004. Notice the asterisk. It represents surgically implantable devices, such as cochlear implants. School districts are not responsible for these types of items. As you can tell, this is a very broad definition. When the law was written, the legislatures didn't want to make a list of assistive technology, as it would be too hard to keep updated. This is really a great idea, as we have seen how technology has grown and changed over the years. There's no way a list could have been created of what is and what is not assistive technology. A simple way of explaining this definition is that assistive technology devices include anything you can make or buy or change that will help any kid with any disability do anything. In the education environment, assistive technology would include those items which increase the functional capability of the student. Another term we use a lot is assistive technology services. So in part, this definition is, quote, any service that directly assists an individual with a disability in the selection, acquisition, or use of an assistive technology device, close quote. So this would include who would be responsible for obtaining a device for trial, who would be responsible for purchasing it if needed, and also who would be responsible for present and future training and technical assistance. And this is really important because due to school staff turnover. It's always hard when the one person that knows how to program or work a device or a program has left the school district and nobody else knows how to use it. So keep that in mind when going through this process. The devices are things, the services are the people. We get asked a lot of different questions, and this Home Depot apron represents one type of question, an example of which is, my student has Down syndrome. What does she need? The answer is, I don't know. The reason is assistive technology is not diagnosis driven, it's task driven. An example would be if I went into a Home Depot store and ask someone there if I needed anything. What would the person ask me? Probably what it is I'm trying to do. When I say I'm trying to fix my kitchen sink, then they could tell me which aisle to go down. With a little bit more information, they could probably give me some options. It's the same way with AT. When more information is provided, the chances of selecting the best item increases. Now we move on to the SETT framework, which is an internationally recognized process to assess somebody for assistive technology. It was developed by Joy Zabala in 1995. The first step is to look at the student. What are their present levels of academic performance? What are they good at, and what is it that they need help with? What do they like, and what do they not like? These are important aspects to consider in the process. Step 2 is the environment. Does the student stay in one classroom all day, or do they go to different buildings or even off campus during the day? This is important because they may need assistive technology in one environment, but not another. Step 3 is tasks. A lot of times we hear a student needs help in writing, but that's not really specific enough. We need to know what it is about writing that the student needs help doing. Do they need help with the mechanics of writing the letters and numbers, or do they also need assistance with composition? Depending on the skill, the assistive technology can be quite different. And the very last step, step 4, is the tools or the assistive technology that is going to help that student in that environment complete that task. You might think this is pretty simple, pretty common sense, but even today, it's typical for someone to start out at step 1, looking at the student, and then jumping all the way to step 4. Again, assistive technology is not diagnosis-driven. It's important to follow a process like this to be sure that the product will not only work, but the student will use it. Product abandonment is a really big issue in this field because the team might decide, okay, this device is going to work for this particular student. But if that student doesn't like it, they're not going to use it. And so unfortunately it sits on a shelf and stays there for a while. So again, that's why this process is so important. SETT is an ongoing process because if anything changes for the student, the environment, or the task, the tool will tend to change as well. It would not be typical for a student who uses AT in the 3rd grade to use that same equipment in the 10th grade. It's always important to reevaluate when anything changes. Now we're going to look at SETT specifically for math. So the different areas to consider regarding the student is what are their abilities and their difficulties? What are their learning strengths and styles? Are they more of a visual learner or somebody that learns better by reading? How well do they understand concepts and notations? How are their problem-solving skills? Do they have difficulty reading, physical difficulties, or visual processing concerns? Or are there other factors to take into consideration? Visual processing limitations can affect proper alignment, working with shapes, interacting with manipulatives, and working with graphs could be affected. Language difficulties may impact understanding math, may affect word problems or graph interpretation. A student's writing level can affect the ability to write the answers as needed. This is why determining the reason for the student's struggle is so important. There has been a shift in the field of math from learning the mechanics of problem solving towards learning the meaning behind the math. This is something to take into consideration in the classroom, especially when a new student comes to the district and has been taught a different approach. The student's assistive technology needs may change depending on their current teacher's perspective. So, step 2, environment. This is a little different for math. But is there a different approach or adapted curriculum the student may be able to access? Are materials in accessible formats for people who are visually impaired or may need that accessibility? Teachers may need more time to make sure the student has what they need. More time may also be needed for the student, or they might need to read the test in a less distracting area. So are manipulatives or e-text available? Is it possible to adapt the curriculum without changing the content? Is there support available not only for the student, but for the educators? All things to take into consideration. Step 3, the task. What is the specific task the student needs to accomplish? Is it to gain fluency, to demonstrate computations, align and problem solve, write or draw notation, apply math skill and context? What would be required of the student after they read the problem? Sensory considerations should be taken into account and include visual processing and perception, the ability to work in 3D, and sequencing. Is writing legibly a concern? Does the student fatigue easily? Can they write in small spaces, draw shapes correctly? Are they able to manage manipulatives and measurement tools? Again, try to be as specific as possible when figuring out assistive technology products for a student. Now finally we get to step 4, tools. Once the team has determined the specific task the student is struggling with, the process of assessment can take place. Feature and match can be used for solution generation. The team can create an implementation plan of who will do what and by what date, and then the follow-up plan after a product has been tried. Follow-up is very, very important. Again, if the student doesn't want to use it for whatever reason, it gets set on that shelf. And, okay. Now we're going to talk about the assistive technology continuum. This explains what type of product is being used. Low or no tech means there's no power source. Mid-tech is a little more expensive and has a power source. High-tech is typically computerized and or expensive. It is always recommended to start at the no-tech, low-tech options first, and then work your way up the continuum as needed. Many people think the main reason is cost, but it's actually more than that. If a manipulative will work, don't try to go to voice recognition as well. The main reason is because the manipulative will always work. It will not freeze. You'll not have to call tech support about it. It's easy to show the students and staff how it works. The higher you go up in the continuum, the more likely it will not work. All the time. If high tech is needed, that's okay. If possible, it's always best to start at low tech. Some students may need to use all three depending on the task or the environment. Many students who use mid or high tech products have a low or no tech backup, which is a great system and something that's usually highly recommended for students. The AT continuum for math, low-tech options. Of course, this includes manipulatives, rulers, stamp, and ink pads, using an abacus, adapted paper, or math tools. Here we have some examples of low-tech tools. Pinterest has a lot of information on making and using manipulatives. The link under Pinterest, it goes to a web page that answers a lot of questions, again, on the subject of manipulatives. Using concrete objects such as beans and real coins will help when appropriate. And I'm not sure I'm saying this right, but cucinary rods, I'm sorry, I'm sure I didn't say that correctly. But if you do a search, you will find those online. They're very common. Highlighter pens, tape, and tabs. These can be used to highlight different passages, keywords, or concepts. Using different colors to mark information in different categories helps with reading longer word problems. Many low-tech items can be obtained through Amazon. The grip ruler pictured here is not a plastic one for $2.61 through Amazon, but it shows the grip feature well, so I included it. The master ruler is $4.49, and a clock stamp set, which is the analog and digital time, is $9.08. If you're not familiar with the master ruler, it was created for students who have difficulties with all the little lines on a standard ruler. It has a white base with clear plastic overlays. In the English version, the base is 1 foot with 12-inch markings. Separate overlays have 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/8 inch, and 1/16 markings. The metric version has overlays for decimeters, centimeters, and millimeters. There are also other designs by the company who made the master ruler. So I have a screenshot of a website that has a lot of different items. It includes the master fraction, the master clock, and the master angle, among others. So if you do a search for those, they will come up. An abacus can be purchased for $11, or you can make your own for much cheaper, as well as a math line. Amazon does sell a kit for $42.95, which includes different activities and information. Let's see, adapted math paper can include raised lines or different colors for students with visual impairments. Other low-tech tools for math include a counting mat, which is a clear plastic overlay with numbers and dots and stickers to help cue. Grid and graph paper or turned line paper sideways for placing value and adding and subtracting could be helpful. Using dice, spinners, or cards can also be educational. Dice can be made out of large squares of foam if somebody has a hard time using standard dice. Cards of various materials and card holders can either be purchased or made. A couple ideas for card holders is a long wood rectangle with a slit on top. And also, you can use a recycled plastic wrap box, of course with the serrated edge removed, but there's also a lot of other ways to make card holders, but those are a couple of ideas for you. Moving up the continuum, examples of mid-tech for math includes math calculators, as well as talking or large keypad calculators. These, of course, read each key pressed as well as the answer. The auditory feedback feature may be helpful for many different students. Here I have a picture of a See-and-Sol graphic calculator for $30.77, and then a basic talking calculator for $6.08. Of course, you can also get large keypad calculators that talk and ones that do not talk. And those are just basically standard kinds of equations, no high-level math for those. So also to take into consideration is are larger keys required? Is more than one key hit at a time? Is there a problem with numbers being repeated? Some calculators now come with extra large keypads, and key guards can be made for those. Some calculators have functions that can be enabled to stop the keys from repeating. Are there any vision concerns? Do they require an LCD display? How big are the numbers? Can the calculator be angled so the sight is easier for students with visual impairments? This next slide is the continuum is high-tech. These are typically computer-based or expensive products. The software might be free, but if a computer, laptop, or tablet is needed to run the application, it is considered high-tech. On this slide, I have a picture of a high-tech talking graphic calculator called the TI for Texas Instrument, TI-84. And it's sold by a variety of places, but American Printing House for the Blind. And it's $599. So obviously it does a lot of high math for people that would be interested in that. Examples of digital access include math toolbars, on-screen keyboards, virtual manipulatives, and there's a link there to go to online virtual manipulatives. Math software, which includes website apps and voice recognition. Voice recognition is different from speech recognition in that the person's voice files are recorded. This can make it easier for someone to use their voice as an alternative method of inputting calculations into the computer. Now I'm going to provide some examples of digital access. As for their capability, I've gone to each website and provided a snippet of information off their website. Equation Editor is a feature in Word. The website states you can build complex equations with symbols, variables, and numbers. So I am going to attempt now to show you a video of Equation Editor.
In this video tutorial, we will show you how to install the Word 2010 Equation Editor. In order to install the Word 2010 Equation Editor, open the Microsoft Word. Go to the Insert tab. Click on Equation. Now you can type any formulas with the equation tools. For example, click on a radical and choose a radicals formula. Add data to your formula. Also, you can go to the Insert tab, then click on Equations and choose various built-in formulas, such as binomial theorem.
Okay, the next video we're going to look at is electronic math worksheets. Panther Math Paper for the iPad only is an electronic math worksheet. We have their video next.
Introducing Panther Math Paper. Now you can do math independently on your iPad, even if you don't have the dexterity to hold a pencil. You can use Math Paper for almost any problem, from simple arithmetic to advanced algebra. Math Paper provides innovative access for people with a diverse range of motor challenges, because it's based on insights from universal design. Math Paper is intuitive to use, and the interface is designed to allow you to use only what you need. That means it's great for beginners, perfect for learning, and a powerful tool to grow with you through your education. Numbers are located in a line along the bottom of the screen, so they're easier to use motorically, visually, and cognitively. Math Paper has so much built-in support. 4 carry functions for addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. There are special functions for fractions, exponents, and long division. A predictive cursor makes doing work easy and efficient, anticipating where you want to enter the next number. You can add an adjustable hold time to avoid mishits, and do your math, never lifting a finger from the screen. Panther Math Paper has the smart and intuitive features you need for effective inclusion. Save work in accessible folders. Email as active worksheets or PDFs. There's even a way to add notes. That means you can create a test for an entire class. Send that test to everyone, and have each student send back a finished test. Because Math Paper is not a calculator, it can even be used during formal testing. And you can customize Math Paper so it looks best for you. Now, even people who can't hold a pencil can do their work, do class assignments, and gain the independence one needs for true learning. Panther Math Paper. From Panther. Unleash your potential.
Okay. So, again, for electronic math worksheets, stacked and vertical math, Mod Math is an option. Their website claims it can be used by students who are first acquiring their math skills to complex algebraic equations. So we'll take a look at that.
Hi, my name's Henry. I have dyslexia and dysgraphia. You've probably heard of dyslexia. It makes reading hard. Dysgraphia is like that, but it makes writing really hard. Dysgraphia makes my handwriting pretty hard to read. I use voice recognition software instead of writing. But there is no voice recognition software for doing math. And when you can't write a math problem, you can't solve a math problem. So my parents and I created an app called Mod Math. It's a free app for anyone who needs it. Mod Math turns the iPad into touchscreen math scratch paper, so I can do math homework without ever using a pencil or paper. Long division, multiplication problems, even fractions.
And 2 years later, Mod Math has been completely redesigned to handle algebra. Variables, square roots, exponents, and more. Plus, you can share your math homework any way you like. Text, email, print, even save it to Dropbox. Mod Math is a non-profit organization, so please donate and help keep Mod Math free for all the kids that need it.
Math ScreenPad is also another option. It can be used on both Mac and Windows operating systems. It has 3 input options. The first is by clicking the desired symbol, using the tab or arrow key as a mouse, or by double-clicking on a cell and selecting from a list. Could not find a video to show you, so there is more information on the link provided though. Now we go into electronic math worksheets for horizontal expressions and equations. This includes Math Type, FX Equation, and Math Magic. The website for Math Type indicates it can create mathematical notations for a variety of different additional environments, including Word, web pages, publishing, and MathML, among others. So let's take a look at their video.
New features in MathType is the ability to take advantage of the handwriting recognition in Windows 7 to actually write out your equations. I'll show you how easy it is by inserting an equation in this algebra exam that I have open in Microsoft Word 2007. First thing I'll do is go to the MathType tab, click on Insert Equation, Inline, and from the Edit menu in MathType, open Math Input Panel. And you can use a Math Input Panel with a mouse, with a tablet PC, any input device you want to use. So for my first expression, I'll write 27 x cubed, and we want the cube root of that. Okay, so the preview window shows me that's what I'm going to get. When I click Insert, it goes into MathType, and if I need to make any changes, I could have made them in the input panel. I can make them here. Since they are correct, I'm going to close MathType, and the equation goes into my Word document. Let me show you, I can also have inserted it directly from Word without opening MathType first. So let's click Open Math Input Panel, and this time we'll do a slightly different one here. X squared minus 4 and over x plus 2. Okay, that's exactly what I want. So when I click Insert, it goes into the Word document, and there you have it. It's pretty simple. And of course, once you get the equation into MathType, you can then use it in nearly 500 other applications and websites that MathType works with, so your options are pretty much unlimited for handwritten equations.
Okay, fx equation will create equations as you type and interpret what has been typed. The program puts the digits in the correct place for the equation.
Let's take a look at how easy it is to create equations in Microsoft Word using fx equation from f of x. First, we'll type our question. Now we need an equation. So we go to the f of x tab, push the fx equation button, and fx equation fires up. We type in the top half, and our equation appears in the bottom half. Once we've created our equation, we click on the green tick or check mark and go back to Word. Let's do another one. fx equation, type our equation, we've used SR to mean square root, but we can access all the commands using the toolbar. Let's include one more. I'm not happy with the spacing of this last one, so to edit equations, we double click, fx equation reopens, put in some extra spaces, and again click on the green check mark. One of fx equation's most advanced features is its ability to automatically determine which parts of what you type are equations and which parts are normal text. It allows you to create equations such as this totally inside fx equation with no extra formatting required.
Math magic for you computer enthusiasts out there is a WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. Math Editor is a graphic user interface and includes support for MathML and other programs.
InfoLogic Incorporated today introduces MathMagic 8.0 Lite for Mac OS X, the first free app in their suite of award-winning equation editors from Mac OS X. Selected for use by thousands of large publishers and university presses around the world, MathMagic Lite offers hundreds of mathematical expressions and symbols, reads LaTeX and MathML, and saves in high-quality formats. The app includes a streamlined interface that helps general users focus more easily on equation writing. MathMagic Lite 8.0 for Mac OS X is free and available for download from the MathMagic website. For more information, please visit www.mathmagic.com.
Okay, so digital access also includes interfaces from a hard copy into electronic format. An example of this is SnapType, which allows a student to take a picture of a worksheet and use an iPad keyboard to type in the answers. We have a video for that.
Hey guys, this is Justin from White Central. Today I'm finally bringing you SnapType, an amazing tool that allows students who struggle with physical writing, fine motor skills, to digitally type on a worksheet with either the keyboard or the built-in speech-to-text already waiting there for you in your iPad. Here's a quick demonstration. I load up SnapType and I can make either a new folder for organization or a new document. I can choose a picture already in my camera library, or I can take a new picture by just clicking camera. I line up the image of my worksheet and I click the circle to take a picture. It's that easy. I then have the option of lining up the frame just in case the image wasn't centered. I click the check mark to save it. I give it a name. Now that it's on the home screen, I can begin the writing process. I have an option to save. I have a scroll left to right option, which either increases or decreases the font size. Very, very simple for students. I have a pen option to write with a stylus. And I have the universal iPad save button, or send button. I'm going to answer the last question, and I'm going to use the voice to text option already in my iPad. I join in the fun. Now I click save, and my document is there waiting to be sent wherever I need it to go. I can click the triple dots, and I can send it as either a PDF, an image, or their default format. I'm going to pick PDF, and there I could send it anywhere I want to, preferably Google Drive if we're Google Apps for Education, or Dropbox, or just email to the teacher. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. It really helps us out. And here's a clip from last week.
Adobe Fill and Sign is another option, which turns digital files or paper documents into fillable forms.
Submit, open, and then submit an assignment through Google Drive using Adobe Fill and Sign. So you're going to go to your class and you'll click on whatever the assignment is. Instructions will be here, the name of the assignment will be here. You need to go over to your work, so you can either click on your work or you can swipe right, and then your assignment with your student name there will be posted. You need to open it, and in order to fill it out using Adobe Fill and Sign, once I get here, I'm going to click on these buttons, these three dots, and click Open In. And then I'm going to click Open In again. And Adobe Fill and Sign is one of my options. So now I can type my name in here. And I can type my answers and questions. Let's see, I'll be in third hour. And today's date is 9/11. So I will type my answers here. Let's see, really important stuff. Oh. And I've filled in everything, and now I am finished working on my assignment. I'm not going to click done, even though I want to, because I'm done. I'm going to come down here and click on the share button. I'm then going to click open in, and I'm going to go over until I get to my drive. Open in drive. Now it's asking if I want to save this to my Olathe Students account. I'm going to save it to drive. Okay, now I can X out of here. Where is it? Here it is. Here's my assignment with my student name on it. Now I'm going to go back to classroom because I'm ready to turn this in. Now, before I can turn mine in, I need to delete the blank copy that my teacher gave me. And I'm going to add my attachment from Drive, my finished assignment. Here it is, 10.30. Look there, I've typed in it. It's going to upload. Okay, now that's my finished assignment, and I'm going to turn it in. Yes. And now I am done, and my teacher has my assignment.
Okay. Another option for digital access is a program called GMath. It's actually a Google Docs add-on through TextHelp, and it allows equation creation on graphs, stat displays, math quizzes, and can be inserted into Google Doc forms.
GMath is an add-on that makes it easy to create and insert math into Google Docs, Sheets, and Forms. To get started, install it from the add-on store. In a Google Doc, go to Add-ons and choose Get Add-ons. Search for GMath and click to install it. Accept the permissions and you're all set to get started. Go back to your Add-ons menu and select GMath. To create expressions, equations, and formulas, choose Create Math Expressions. Here you can type using the simple or advanced editor, or even use speech input to dictate into your document. If you don't want to type, you can also insert handwritten work using the handwriting entry tool. GMath also allows you to create graphs and statistical displays. You can use the same steps to install GMath in Google Sheets. Once installed, choose from the 3 options under the GMath menu to start creating your math. To use GMath in Google Forms, click the More button and go to Add-ons. Install GMath, and then launch it from the puzzle piece icon at the top of your form. Choose from the options for creating different types of math to put into your form. GMath makes it easy for teachers and students to create digital math. To learn more about GMath, subscribe to our YouTube channel or visit the link below.
Okay, so this slide includes links for online digital access, including MathML, IXL, and GeoGebra. Voice input programs include software from TextHelp and incorporates several literacy support tools. MathTalk, which works with other programs for speech recognition users. And another relatively unknown product that can be used for math is called the LiveScribe pen. Although not intended to be a math product, one can create interactive worksheets with the pen to explain math equations to students. So, if you have any questions about this presentation, please contact me at the information shown on this slide at mellowdee@yahoo.com, 208-790-7055. Thank you.